Hey guys, it's me again. So, due to last week me being out for camping, church camping, I wasn't making any videos or filming. Well, it's good to be back home again after a long week of camping, and I learned a lot, and I hope to apply it to my daily life. I know I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes and fall short. And that's okay because we're human and that's what humans do. So with that said, I'm going to be talking these next couple of videos I make. I'm going to be talking about like life and stuff like that, whether it's due to money, college, or taking care of your body. I feel like now that I'm going into the college life, I feel like I'm going to touch base on that a bit. And for those of you that are going into the college life or even your senior year of high school, I want to touch base on this a bit. So I'm going to be reading from Ecclesiastes 3, 1, verse 1 through 8. It says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to sue, a time to keep silence, a time to speak, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace." So somebody actually had recommended me, like from the camp, to like read these things because this verse talks about there being a time and place for everything. Like, I even had to learn this too, and to be honest, I've gotten a lot better at time and place. So what I notice a lot of times is a lot of people are not the best at time and place due to saying things out of the blue, whether if you're in public or saying stuff out loud where there's children around. And even sometimes my friend reminds me like, hey, like if you want to say things, you can say stuff, but just say it where people can't hear you, you know? Or doing things when it's not appropriate. That's kind of like time and place. But I will say what this verse actually reminds me of. This verse kind of reminds me of now that I'm graduated from high school and now I'm a graduate. And now it's a time to enter a new chapter in my life, which means it's time for me to move away from being a kid, being a teenager, and be an adult. I know, yes, I know, people say enjoy being young, enjoy being a kid. Well, for me, it's time for me to be an adult now and not be a teenager and not be a kid. So, yeah, that's what it's time for me to do. And another thing that I get out of this verse is if it's not the right time, or if I want to say things that are kind of rude, then sometimes someone like my best friend, which sometimes like what I said, sometimes she'll tell me like, hey, you know, we have to be respectful. Let's not be rude. Because sometimes I will say things that will come across rude, like if something makes me angry and all that. Or I can ask, is this the right time, or does it have to be done at this time? Or if I know it's not the right time, I won't do it, and I won't say it. So friends, something to get out of this is there's a time and place for everything. And let this be a reminder when you're starting a new journey in life, like whether it's high school, middle school, elementary, or the workforce, or even the college life, or even if you're going to move on your own. Let this be a reminder for you when you start a new journey in life. So that is all I wanted to touch base on today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this verse, and I hope you guys have a great day. Farewell.